Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark is insisting that the Bank of Jamaica will maintain foreign reserves to protect against unforeseen events which could hurt the economy. Dr. Clark was responding to concerns about the decline in Jamaican dollar against the US currency. The Bank of Jamaica again intervened in the foreign exchange market Wednesday, selling an additional $30 million to authorized dealers and large cambios. Speaking Wednesday on TVJ's All Angles, the finance minister acknowledged that historically the authorities intervened in the market to appease certain interests, but the focus has now changed.
The policies are centered on ensuring that we have sufficient reserves in our central bank to keep Jamaica economically independent regardless of the circumstances in the external environment. But what we'll also have is a depletion of reserves in the central bank, which will impoverish you, impoverish me, it will impoverish the man in the street, and it will impoverish all Jamaicans. And worst of all, it would put Jamaica back in a state of dependency.
And Dr. Clark outlined the potential adverse effects of not taking this approach.
For example, if there were a recession in the United States and tourism receipts to Jamaica were to fall dramatically, we want to make sure that the country has sufficient reserves to take us through that experience. If oil prices were to increase dramatically in a short period of time, we have to ensure that we have sufficient reserves to take us through such a period. If there were a hurricane and we had to import all that we needed for 6 months because domestic capacity was brought to naught, we have to have sufficient reserves in the central bank to take us through that. If we misuse our reserves to achieve some kind of what is described as a currency that doesn't move, then because it's not if, it's when any of those occurrences happen, we would be like we were in 2013, and we have been at least 16 times before since 1962, we'd be left with insufficient reserves in our central bank to meet the difficult circumstances that we would face. And we don't want that.
Kimberly Broderick, Frontline News.